Welcome back to 2 Cents Unfiltered, where we don't sugarcoat truth, we expose it. A few videos back, I talked about government assistance programs. Today's podcast is a continuation of that video. I'm talking about a strategy that could potentially unravel the U.S. economic system. Today, we go deep into something most Americans have never even heard of, yet it is one of the most dangerous political strategies ever proposed on U.S. soil, the Cloward Piven strategy. This isn't rumor, this isn't conspiracy theory talk. This is a published political plan written in 1966 by two professors from Columbia University, Richard Cloward and Francis Fox Piven, and printed openly in The Nation magazine. Their goal was simple: overload America's welfare system until it collapses, then replace it with a massive federal welfare state, guaranteed income, and permanent dependency. Today, we're going to go through what the strategy was, why it was created, and most importantly, whether it's being used right now, not just in the US, but in other nations. Let's get to it. Cloward and Piven believed poverty exists because capitalism fails. Welfare programs weren't large enough. The government should guarantee national income for all people. So their plan was 1. Encourage millions more people to apply for welfare. 2. Overwhelm the system financially. 3. Force the system to collapse under its own weight. 4. Then create a new national system of guaranteed government income, centrally controlled from Washington. They literally wanted to break the welfare system on purpose, so the government would replace it with a much larger system. They thought the chaos would help bring in socialism by force of crisis. That's the root of it. Nobody elected Cloward and Piven. Nobody voted for any of this, yet this strategy has influenced activists, community organizers, political consultants, and radical academics for decades. The plan wasn't persuasion. The plan wasn't debate. The plan was destroy in order to rebuild, make so many people dependent on government benefits, the government becomes the provider for life, and citizens become loyal to the system that feeds them. Dependency becomes power. How would you overload the system in real life? We're not talking theory. To overload welfare, you would relax eligibility rules, make it easier to enroll, encourage non-citizens to get benefits, advertise programs aggressively, punish enforcement, normalize dependency, make working less financially attractive than not working. In other words, if you wanted the system to fail, you would create more users with less guardrails and less enforcement. Let's be honest. Look around. We have millions of new non-citizens entering the US, states providing benefits without citizenship requirement, cities handing out free housing, food cards, hotel rooms, exploding SNAP/EBT enrollment, disability applications, skyrocketing in working age people, work requirements being removed, guaranteed income pilot programs across major cities. Is this not identical to the mechanism Cloward and Piven described? We have welfare growing faster than taxpayers. We have systems stretched beyond capacity. We have cities, like New York, begging for federal intervention because they cannot financially handle the load. And Cloward Piven's entire goal was overwhelm local and state budgets, so Washington must step in permanently. Is that not exactly what states are asking for today? This isn't coincidence. This is a blueprint. Could this strategy be used globally? Look at the UK, look at Canada, look at Germany. Mass migration plus expanding welfare plus shrinking enforcement equals overwhelmed system. The effect is the same. Overwhelmed schools, overwhelmed housing markets, overwhelmed healthcare, overwhelmed benefit programs. Then, when the system is financially drowning, politicians demand larger federal or national intervention. Dependency expands, centralization increases. Governments grow in power, citizens shrink in independence. The formula works anywhere. Why this strategy is so dangerous? It destroys the middle class first, because middle class is the only group that is not dependent on government. Middle class does not benefit from collapse. Middle class gets their taxes raised, their cost of living raised, their communities destabilized, their retirement destroyed through inflation, their safety net raided to support mass dependency. The strategy is not about helping the poor. The strategy is about eliminating the middle class and making everyone dependent on the state. Because you cannot have socialism unless the state is the provider. The Cloward Piven strategy was never about compassion. It was about power. Break the system on purpose, then rebuild it as a dependency machine. When you watch what is happening today, exploding welfare rolls, migration crises, overwhelmed cities, work requirements being removed, guaranteed income pilots, this looks less like coincidence and more like policy by design. You do not have to wear the label Cloward Piven to use the playbook. Cloward and Piven wrote the theory, but a lot of modern politicians are delivering the execution. This is the reality, this is the math, and this is the danger. And that is your 2 cents unfiltered.